Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Don. Hey, Cinnamon. Hey, Rhea. Hey, Chris. Hey, Knight. Hey, Ella. Hey, Tetra. Hey, Fig. Hey, Gil. Hey, Albert. Hey, Asshole. And Grey Wolf. I think that's everyone, buddy. Welcome to Sock22. Hey, Ricky. Hey, Agra. Hey, everybody. Isabella, good to see you. Hey, Chris. Hey, I already know. Hey, Dambo, but that's it. Will today be another day of tea, of spicy, juicy drama? Who knows? Hey, Mary. Hey, Jara. Hey, Bud. Hey, Siri. Andy. Will Doc get fired today? Yeah, will the Senate come in and shoot Doc on the head? We'll see. Time for a nice, calm, normal day. Yes. Well, hopefully... Oh, God, that rolled the dice command should not still be there. Nicole, I'm sorry. That's from Baldur's Gate. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice normal day, exactly. I should be meeting up with Libby this morning. Oh, I forgot about the song. This song exists. Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Coffee and cookies in the break room.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Any tea?
Good question. We can check. I don't think so.
Rubbish.
It's on the coffee shelf.
Oh, thank you. He doesn't know the hell. Oh yeah.
Tea is good.
It's no fucking tea, man. I make my own fucking tea every morning. What the fuck is this?
You've got that tea shop behind the courthouse that makes a lot of different.
It's okay. We've got tea. We've got 350 bags of tea.
Do all caffeinated teas.
And then we got it.
I think it's all custom brewed. That's why it's expensive. You get a fancy engraved cup.
This Crocs a sports mode. Listen, no one's asked talk about the
Or they
Crocs,
just
okay?
overprice it. I don't
But
know.
he couldn't bend over to put them on because he's in too much pain.
No, this
He
is a
couldn't
different thing. This is like a
He
traffic.
couldn't put
stop,
shoes
but-
on,
okay.
so we said put
Yeah.
Crocs on. And no one's asked about his Crocs, man. Yeah, we'll see what happens today. I think we're planning on, hopefully, getting a high command meeting today. In server, hopefully. Because I think it's pretty necessary. So that we're all on the same page. Because bit of something interesting is that I put in that thing last night, this, and I was like, you know, has anyone got anything to add or think this should be in there and that kind of thing? And Tessa said no. Said we shouldn't do anything like that until we got internal stuff done, which I thought as dog was pretty interesting and surprising. High command meeting, yeah. So we're just, this is the thing. Today I'm trying to stick to schedule. I don't want to burn out if I'm streaming every day for the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna try and stick to my schedule today, which is finishing like, you know, in like 7-ish hours. So the meeting's probably gonna be later on tonight. So not for like 10, 11 hours from now. So you might have to catch that on somebody else's stream if it happens. He does. Oh, Dust, I saw your message. I'm sorry for not getting back to you. Yesterday was kind of crazy, but I'll reply as soon as I remember again. Yeah, Brian's suspended. I'm hoping somebody called Walter last night, but I'm not hopeful.
One, you've got Libby,
Oh, Libby's here. Libby's around.
947 and triple.
Why is my brain? I'm not awake yet, huh? Nope.
Hello.
Morning, Chief. You alright?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm doing. You wanna? Have you heard the bad news, or do you need me to fill you in on stuff?
What bad news?
Uh,
Maybe, I don't know. There's not been a lot of good news coming my way over the past few days.
Yeah. Do you wanna meet up somewhere?
Yeah, give me 2 minutes to help with this pursuit, and then I'll meet you at PD if you want.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Alright, I won't be long.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I swear to God, if we get anything else, if we get any more tea, I'm just gonna... let's do a review. Let's do a review. It's tea review time. All right. Brian made a dirty bomb, and then we had to evacuate because it blew up the island. Apparently. Possibly. This is also a question. Christmas, sniff cocaine and dress as EMS. And has caused EMS to be attacked. And shit. EMS was given a bomb to go blow up the last of the Sanguinians. And then Brian pulled a gun on Bison when Bison questioned it. Senator shot Carl Pred unarmed at the prison. Ursula was held up, which this has been confirmed, but whether or not Axel had any part in it is part of the question. Was held up to delete footage. We haven't seen said footage yet. And then this is kind of this bit, which is Brian threatening Bison. So Toretti's then retired because he tried to get Christmas fired, and the senator was like, no. So he retired as to make a stand. Senator Davis is now the MCU head, which, I'll be honest, I kind of could have said something in the MCU emails last night, but I chose not to because I think this could be really interesting if High Command doesn't sort it out in time, and could be very interesting. Bundy, oh yeah, Bundy now on LOA because Senator is the head of MCU. Yeah, Bundy took a active LOA last night because of that. Then EMS is apparently against the doctors or something, and now Nick is joining the DOC, and because Nick's girlfriend was Veronica Mars, or is Veronica Mars, and Veronica in hiding. We're awaiting a statement. Apparently Bison already got a statement which confirmed everything. Apparently Veronica didn't hear the fact that she might die. Don't know what that was about. Then this is Brian specifically making dirty bomb. Apparently, according to Axel, has a pocket senator, no trust from high command, at least for Dark. And I'm sure that's the case given the conversation we had prior to the whole, invasion. The Nicky Drawl garbage, withholding the EMS bomb info from Dark. which happened yesterday. He said, yeah, I can't do that. The senator said no. Talking openly with mechanics about the EMS bomb situation. Possibly, okay, these are both question marks. When the prisoner told them it was Mars's idea, or, you know. Axel and Brian talking about killing Divine after leak. Axel said it was joke. Lol. And then Brian tried to contact Norman Buds for help against Sanguine. I'm actually going to move this up here. Why is there no space there? This one's fucking creepy as shit, dude. Well, that's what we got so far. So far. Jesus Christ. But on the plus side, we somehow convinced Axel to go sit on a panel for High Command. What's going to be really juicy for that is if it turns out that High Command decides that Axel like should be punished, that's gonna be real interesting, because either Axel, you know, agrees and, you know, whatever happens, whether he gets suspended or fired or demoted or whatever, or he goes full scorched earth and is like, nope, that's not happening. Yeah, that could be very interesting. Everything is scripted? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? I can't believe you just, you know what? That's a compliment. I'm taking that as, I think everybody should take that dumbass comment as a compliment, that they think this is scripted. Jesus Christ. You're all speaking through emails? No. Go back to school. I could see if you hike and walk out for Axel overall the decision. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. This could get real messy. This is why, like, listen, whatever happens to Dark, I think will be interesting. If anything happens to Dark, it will be interesting. There's a lot of things that could happen to Dark. He could just get outright fired for questioning the commissioner. But he didn't even, like, I don't know whether, like, Dark was very open in that it should, you know, it's voluntary. No one can force the commissioner to do a panel. Like, I think I tried to have Dark emphasize that a lot in that conversation last night. And I was like, you don't have to do it. You know, this is voluntary. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not even saying that the things are true. But I think it's a good thing that should happen. Yeah, I don't like how he killed your character for the second act. Oh god, it's like Game of Thrones season 8, dude. And we did it. You guys should have been at the table read. He got real fucking dirty. I got real. Before we started filming this season, we all had a table read, guys. It was real messy. Fucking Aiden walked out of the meeting when he saw his character died. Oh god. You think Dark is next for Ocean Companies? Wait, what? Wait, who's on the roof? I'm on the roof. Is it talking about me? Did I miss a phone call? No. I kind of feel bad though. I do kind of feel bad for Sab. Because it's like we've gone from everyone thinking Bass was bad and corrupt and shit. And now Axel's being questioned on his actions because he's kind of been forced into shit with the Senate. I do kind of feel bad for the guy, dude. Like when he said yesterday and he was like, we're not doing a part 3. You know what I mean? I felt bad, but at the same time, like, you know. Oh, my eye. I think everyone's just kind of I don't want to say the basic words here. I'm gonna try and say it in a good way, not a nice way. Everyone's just snowballing. Like no one's being like, no one's taking anything and being like, oh fuck this shit, we're not doing anything with it. Like even Toretti. Oh. Ah!
He just dropped down over.
Oh my god, this guy is hiding from me. Where the fuck? What
Sorry.
the fuck is this?
Sorry, Chief.
Oh my god, you made me do laps around MLPD. I even came to the roof and I was
You
like,
should
Richard.
have told
and
me.
I was like, Matt Rhodes is in the hallways in a towel. Thinking
He
maybe
is,
you'd be like, oh my god, my husband. No, he's not. I was just screaming that to try and find where you were. Oh my god, I'm so puffed now.
Sorry about that.
Holy shit, no, it's fine.
You want to sit down? I've got a
Just-
chair.
No, it's okay. I'll just guzzle this coffee because that'll make me better.
Oh, yes. Yes, that helps everything. Just to give you the jitters to help you get through this
Why are you wearing
mess.
Crocs?
I didn't want to... I can't really bend down too much because of
Oh,
my
okay.
stitches. So, yeah, I could get socks on or shoes.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll
Yeah.
allow it.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
No worries.
Well, how have you been?
Oh, you know. How have you been?
Oh, you know. Woke up yesterday to probably the worst stuff I've ever heard coming out of PD.
Yeah? Hey, but Bison should have been there, so... That's what I was told, yeah.
Yeah. Axel wanted to have a high command panel for Bison for questioning the war crimes, which me and Stubble said no to yesterday. So that's not happening anymore. He was mad that Bison was, I guess, mentioning the bomb and everything at Mission Row afterwards, instead of, like, in his words, you know, dealing with the more important stuff. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was, I don't know. There was an air of, I'm mad that we got found out there, really. So, yeah. But, what do you know? Because everybody I've spoken to has heard something new and different, and, you know, might as well get the bad news out of the way.
So I got an email from Bison, that he had... I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. Are we talking about the Bison situation?
All of it. All of it.
Okay, so I'll start with that one. So I got an email from Bison saying that he had woke up to a conversation between the Senator Davis and Brian, where they were discussing with EMS about giving her C4 to go in and essentially blow up the criminals. So Bison told me that he volunteered to go in place of the EMS. You know, they had a little bit of an argument. Brian pulled a gun out and said, "If you fucking tell anyone, I'll kill you," or something along those lines.
Phew.
That was number one. And I have seen this before. I can speak to Veronica Mars. I believe she was going to speak to me. She might have spoken to Tessa in the meantime. I don't actually know. I have no clue. I also I got told that Walter was false flagging his EMS. Wasn't told the full story around that. So that was number two. Number three is more to do with the senator than anyone else. But apparently, when LSB and Ursula came out, Axel and the senator were like essentially telling her that if she gave them all of the footage, they would let her off without treason, because she'd been inside with them. And then when she said no, the senator, I believe she told me that, maybe Andy told me, one of the two told me that some of the footage was destroyed by the senator, I believe. And then he shot next to her head, aimed a gun at her, and shot next to her head and threatened her life. So I got on duty the other day. I was at MLPD punishing some cadets. Well, not punishing some cadets, talking to some cadets who'd gotten very drunk off duty, and one of them had done some sort of illicit substance, and basically
God.
told them that if they ever do that shit again, I will don't think I won't find out, and don't think that they'll ever have a chance at being a police officer ever again. I will make sure that no departments ever hire them. And I was doing that conversation, and I saw a tweet go out, or a tweet, that the Sanguine prisoners were hosting a radio show.
Oh yeah,
DOC
this.
gave them radios to host a radio show up at the prison. So I got on the radio and I said, like, who the fuck thought that was a good idea? And they told me the warden, and I was like, are you guys absolutely fucking stupid? Like, why would you give war prisoners radios to host a radio show? To which I got 10-3'd. I snapped, I'm the chief of police, who the fuck do you think you are to 10-3 me? Had a little bit of a falling out with the warden. And I just went up there and told them to take the radios off them while I was up there. I saw Predenreger. We didn't really talk about anything with substance, to be honest. They tried to tell me shit. I told them that I wasn't I'm not going to tell them what I'm thinking, because I haven't really talked to Brian yet, because I didn't want to talk to him by myself. And it's purely for the fact that I don't remember questions to ask. So if I'd gone in there, and I also didn't want to get gaslit into thinking it was okay what they did. And I feel like that's less likely to happen with someone else. Yeah.
You're not wrong. I'll be honest, I spoke to him yesterday before I suspended the guy, and there was no one harder to talk to. And that's not because he's intelligent, it's because he just doesn't answer questions. He either answers a question with a question, or he pretends he doesn't understand the question, and you have to ask it again. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Okay, so
And then I went deaf for a couple of days, so I couldn't be around, and haven't had a chance to talk to anyone.
yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's all. I mean, I didn't realize why Brian pulled a gun on Bison, but you've kind of cleared that up a bit. Okay. Is it? I have more if you want to hear about it.
Okay.
Okay. So apparently, Brian, when they found the equipment that Sanguine had been using to make the explosives and stuff, Brian, I guess on Senate's orders, apparently, with no experience, decided to make a bomb to blow up the evidence and blow up the manufacturing facility. According to Axel, it's possibly a dirty bomb, which has since caused radiation on the island. I don't know whether that's true or not. Brian could not give me a straight answer. At first, he said he made a bomb and blew up the island. Then he went back and said it just blew up the room that it was in, and then it was the villa. Basically, no straight answers again. But he did that with no prior experience. That's number one. Oh, and apparently the island had to be evacuated after that. So that was while we had missing officers still on the island. So we had Captain Moosebeard still missing, last known inside the villa, and then we blew up the villa. Or Brian and the senator blew up the villa. So that was the first one. Then there was the Walter Christmas thing, which was essentially Christmas dressing up as EMS during the conflict and using weapons and rocket launchers on the Sanguinians while dressed as EMS, and then openly taking cocaine on the radio or illicit substances of some kind, and then saying, wow, now I know why these criminals do drugs all the time. Something like that. Then there was, you've heard about the EMS bombing. I'll add a little bit more information. Apparently the EMS still had the bomb on her when she was in ICU. So while she was in the hospital, even though, you know, Brian and the senator sent her in, nobody removed that bomb from her. So she had a bomb on her person, I guess tucked under her vest, while she was in the ICU.
Oh, yeah. I knew
in
about
Los
that
Santos.
because I got someone to go and talk to her after the fact and get the bomb off her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did know about that and tried to claim it doesn't happen. Right.
Yeah, I spoke to Axel last night about the Ursula situation. He confirmed that it happened. That the senator, you know, he really didn't deny the whole situation, really. He said that he personally didn't have a gun out or anything like that, which I find hard to believe. He admitted that the senator shot towards Ursula. Yeah, it just sounds freedom of the press exists, but it seems like every kind of common international law was discarded by the senator and the commissioner. So listen, I'll be honest, me and Stubble had to convince Axel last night that what happened over there was war crimes, because he couldn't fathom that just because we don't abide by the Geneva Convention, that it's not still a war crime. Like, you know, commonly what happened over there was war crimes.
I don't understand. Like, take away from the sentence. I don't understand why that makes a difference. It's not about whether someone commits a crime or not.
Right.
As to whether we want them into PD. It's whether we can trust them to be morally just.
Yeah.
They're out there arresting people every single day. Like, it's not necessarily breaking a law to be a corrupt, but we still fire people because of it.
I completely agree. Axel was basically saying, it was very strange. He was basically acting like he saved Ursula from the senator. And that basically they could have shot her because she was a treasonist, but they didn't. So, you know, take what you will about that. And what's next? This is documented in the MDW that the senator shot Kyle Pred, who was unarmed in the prison a couple nights back, from the catwalk. Because Pred was antagonizing him. Oh, and I went to speak to Doretti, which I don't know whether you're aware, but Doretti stepped down.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently the other night he confronted Axel and the senator about Christmas, because he thought that Walt Christmas should be fired. And essentially it sounded like the senator basically said, no, we're going to give him a medal. And Toretti was trying to argue with him, and Axel was, I guess, complacent with the senator. And eventually, I don't agree with this, but Toretti was like, listen, you either want me as the commissioner, or you want to keep Christmas as a cop. And essentially, by the sounds of it, they went for Christmas. And so Toretti stepped out. He gave him an ultimatum, and they said no. So he's currently enjoying his newly found retirement,
I
gardening.
don't know if I blame him. As a deputy commissioner, his word should mean a hell of a fucking lot. And
Yeah.
he's pretty valuable over Walter. I completely... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I spoke to him. I don't agree with his decision, but I understand it. So we didn't have it out. We're not those kind of people, but you know, there was a lot of Shelby was fired for less type situation when it comes to like Brian and Walter, for example.
Well,
so yeah,
she caused the war and they fed into it. So.
Right, on that, apparently Toretti told me, and Axel confirmed, but with a stipulation, that when Divine was leaked and they knew that Jaeger was aware that Divine was undercover on the island, Brian and Axel openly in front of Toretti discussed killing Divine so that he couldn't leak any more information.
What the actual fuck is wrong with this fucking PD?
When I asked Axel about this, he said that he was joking. Though he confirmed that they had Bundy on standby with a sniper rifle. Yeah. Anything else? Brian, we probably need to do something about this, but when I asked Brian to choose a replacement yesterday when I suspended him for interim head of MCU, he decided that the Senator Davis would be his replacement. I'll be honest, I was a bit too cooked to question that at the time, but it's probably not a good idea. Bundy has since, I guess, gone on LOA until that is amended. Brian also said, he also was making some strange comments when I was talking to him yesterday, that if this happens, so this is after I suspended him, he was basically like, if this happens, the senator said to text him or something like that. So in other words, he's got the senator in his pocket, and I think he's going to try and pull that card at some point. Yeah, Brian, when I was questioning him yesterday, couldn't tell me any details about the EMS bombing because he said the senator told him not to. So we're continuing down the path of having a completely unreliable head of our investigative department, which is one of the reasons I suspended him. What else? Oh yeah, you might be aware, but Veronica Mars's boyfriend / partner is Nicholas Simone of the Simone brothers. So that could be really bad for us.
Fuck!
Apparently Nicholas Simone is joining DLC, which is also very concerning. But also apparently the EMS and doctors are not happy with each other, and there might be some shit going on there. I heard from Sweets that Bison already got a statement from Veronica, unofficially, and she confirmed everything that happened with the bomb. So what I was told about Veronica was that she volunteered, which sounds factually accurate, but it was after Brian pulled a gun on Bison for questioning the situation and telling, apparently telling him, now I know, was, telling him not to tell anybody, otherwise he was going to kill him. So I don't know, Veronica, when put in that situation, could have felt that she had no other choice. Um, who knows? We don't know. But I'm trying to get a written statement from Veronica through Kiki Pendragon, the chief. Anything else? Now, Brian was apparently yesterday, one of the reasons I pulled him into the office was because I heard from two different people that Brian was talking to civilians and treasonists at prison and just openly saying that Veronica volunteered and that it was her idea to go in with the bomb. Which I just have no idea why he feels that appropriate to tell people. When it's openly causing EMS to be attacked. Apparently the BMC were looking and hunting EMS to try and chop off their fingers. So Brian just adding fuel to the fire was just, another tick off the list. When I approached Axel about some of this stuff last night with Stubble, he was initially pretty defensive, but I have convinced him, and I think this is appropriate, and I think would be good for accountability. He has volunteered to have a high command panel for him and his actions on the island. So the accusations about the Ursula stuff and his knowledge about the EMS bombing, for example, and anything else that comes up that is questionable, he's volunteered to sit down and have us ask him those questions and find out what happened and, I guess, review his position. I think that's the end of my list.
Well, we have a lot of people with LSPD that if something doesn't get done with Brian, they're most likely going to leave. So, just as an FYI.
I don't think that should be much of a problem. Because I don't think well, it depends what people, what do they mean? Do they want him fired? Not that I care what they want in that sense, because I'll make my own decision, but...
Probably.
What do you think?
I haven't spoken to Brian yet, but from what I've heard so far, like, my current stance is that I don't think I want, like Tiretti said, Shelby was fired. I think if we want to hold people to an accountable standard, that doesn't make sense. If we want to hold people to a standard and make them accountable for their actions, nothing's showing me that he's accountable for his actions. I don't know about Walter, but I don't know. I just don't think that we can let that stand.
Yeah, me too. If the senator told me to do so, Todd gets pulled, I'm shutting that down too. Because I don't think...
Told you to do what?
Like, if Brian goes in there and said, the senator ordered me to do this.
Oh, no. I have had this discussion with multiple people. Okay. If you want to keep your job as a cop, yes, you listen to what the Senate says. That does not mean you can't have morals.
Right.
That does not... You can still walk away from... Yes, you might not keep your job at the end of the day, but you're going to get defended to all ends by high command. but doesn't mean you have to do absolutely fucking shit things. Like, this is just how it is. If the senator came here and told me right now to shoot you in the head, I would just leave. If he shoots me, he shoots me. If he fucking fires me, he fires me. I'm not gonna shoot someone in the head just because he's told me to do something.
Yeah, I agree. That's the next thing, really, is I think step one is we've got to clean up subordinates. Then we question Axel and whether or not, you know, the things he did were good or right or anything like that or fit for the position. I don't know, you know, I don't know whether it's going to be a high command vote and then we're like, we don't think this guy's fit for commissioner, whether he's going to go, fuck you guys, I'm staying anyway. I don't know what, I don't know what's going to happen
If it
there.
goes to a vote, it needs to be an anonymous vote so that no one faces consequences or like prejudice. If it's not like a
No,
overwhelming get the fuck
I
out
agree.
of here, essentially.
Yeah.
Only had one conversation with the man. It was him essentially. When I brought up what happened, he said, "Oh well, we need to have a high command panel for Bison." I'm
What?
like, okay. I'm like, well, that's fine. He's like, well, we need to talk about Bison. Maybe it wasn't high command panel, but it was like, we need to talk about Bison. And I'm like, cool, that's fine. But at the same time, one sergeant threatened to kill another sergeant over C4 on an EMS.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably... I can't speak to what happened over there because I wasn't there. But I wouldn't let that stand if it was a day-to-day thing. If, if, say, Davenport threatened to kill, I don't know, fucking Garcia and meant it in a serious tone, I wouldn't want him a part of PD either. Like...
No. Yeah, I think there's a lot of... I think there's going to be these things thrown about that says that, the senator said there was no rules, this, that, this, and that, which is fine. Sure, you can't be charged for nothing. That doesn't mean we can't fire you. And specifically in the employment laws we have here in Los Santos, there is nothing stopping any of us as high command from firing anybody in the PD for any reason at any time. Government employees don't have any employee protection laws, so I mean, I'm not saying we would do that, but the point is that if we just feel someone isn't fit for the PD anymore, then they're not fit for the PD anymore. Talking about someone being unfit for their position, myself, Stubble, and Axel, I brought up the point that all of this really is stemming from a senator who, by legislation, I've got to read this ridiculousness again because I see it every now and then and it hurts me. Hold on. Yeah, the authority of the Senate, written by the man we're talking about, says, hold on, where is it? Oh, yeah, here. The Senate is the highest power in the government when it comes to decision making. They have complete power and final say over the police department, DOJ, Department of Corrections, EMS, and any other branch of government in the Senate areas. The Senate oversees everything and has supreme rule over every branch of government. Basically, it's just the Senate. This one guy, because we don't see the others. This one dude is just some kind of extreme dictator of the state, and it's caused us all these problems. So essentially what I'm saying is we need to figure something out. Once we clean up our own mess, we got to clean up that mess. And I don't know, that's a lot bigger than just a PD thing, but I genuinely don't know what to do about it. But Axel and Stubble agreed that something needs to change. The kind of government body of our state needs to change, and again, this is one of those situations where I don't know whether it's up to us. But that doesn't mean...
Well, Andy wants him out as well. Andy talked to me and said that, we'd take care of our officers in terms of like their shit, and she'll take care of the Senate sort of side of things.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if you've had a conversation with her, but I would suggest
No,
that too.
I would love to have a conversation with Andy. We were meant to do it like the day before the invasion. It just never happened.
I see it like this. Wait, now I've lost what I was gonna fucking say. Fuck. What were you saying before that?
I can't remember.
Oh, I remember now. I've kind of seen your war the whole time like this. Of when it comes to consequences, we're being asked to fight a war for a Senate who, like, you know, no matter how you see it, is who broke the treaty. We're being asked to fight a war for a Senate that isn't going to face the consequences at the end of the day from the people who were involved. So when those 30 people get out of prison, it's not the senator that's going to get shot and maimed every day. It's EMS, it's PD, and it's going to be at all times of the day. They're not just going to go for people who fought in that war. They're going to go for every single member of PD.
Yeah.
And the actions that our officers took only made that so much worse.
When I spoke to Toretti, he mentioned that the senator had spoke about another war happening. I don't know the details on that, but this guy's already talking about another war. I just don't know. I mentioned a vote of no confidence for the Senate, but and Stubble made a good point. Is we have the DOJ and the mayor's office set up one of those votes at the courthouse, and we vote on whether or not. Oh, Jackie's calling me. Whether or not we trust in the Senate anymore, and we basically vote for a new government body in the city.
You can answer that if you want.
I'll tell him I'll call him back.
No, you're fine.
Hey,
You can
hey,
come
Jackie.
if you want to.
Hi, Richard. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going. First of all,
Yeah.
Brian has been suspended. I'll fill you in when you're not in a jet.
I know he's been suspended.
Okay.
I'm sure people were thinking I was going to turn around saying, "Why don't you fucking suspend one of my troopers?" Like fucking Peggy Mitchell. But actually, I think it was probably the right move considering the investigation that's happening at the moment. So no problems for me.
Oh, okay, you're aware. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I said to Libby the other day when she told me about all this that he should be suspended pending investigation. That was my idea.
Okay, good. All right, that's fantastic. I'm glad we're on the same page. But yeah, I'll have a proper sit down with you in a bit, and we'll catch up on stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'm just getting my day started and stuff. So let me know when you need me.
All right, enjoy. I'll see you in a bit.
All right, see you in a bit. Bye.
All right, good. Yeah, it was just snow. All right. Yeah. This is not what I wanted to wake up to, I'll be honest. I wanted to wake up to a full English and a cup of tea and see my family and relax and know that this war shit is over. But here we are.
I'll be the first to admit I had doubts about the like bench and whatnot. I'm glad that was recovered. I'm glad that it you know, at least some of it had a point, but I'm just disappointed that the good work that was done has been overshadowed by the shitty things people did.
Yeah, me too. Like it was rough. There was a minute there, about halfway through, where I really didn't think that a lot of officers were going to come out of that situation. I did not think that we were going to push through. They had us in a choke point at a checkpoint that was rigged with explosives, and Stubble went down. Comms kind of fell apart, but Axel kind of rallied the troops. You know, Angel was shouting on the radio, getting people moving to places. It was chaotic as anything, but it was PD, and it worked. So it was strangely wholesome to see everybody working together and focus on a objective and doing their best, and that's all just down the drain. Along with all the work we put in since the restructure to keep things clean and accountable and above board, just like Stubble said, over a weekend, it's gone. We have no trust anymore. Nobody trusts the PD.
Yeah.
Can I make a quick call while it's on my brain?
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't even know if she's around. I'm trying to call Kiki. She's not around. Okay, so yesterday I let slip to Kiki that Brian was suspended. I don't care that I let it slip, I'll be honest, but it ended up on Twitter through Alex Jones, TJ Walker. So I just wanted to see, I'm going to ask Kiki directly if it was her. If she says that it wasn't her, then I'm going to assume that it was Brian instead. But Axel he focuses on the strangest things. He focuses so hard on how that got leaked. And it's also one of the, like me and Subble were saying that if we fire people, like we should announce that they're fired, like to the public and to the PD. And Axel was so against that. He was so against it because he's so concerned about these civilians' safety instead of being transparent with the public. Now, I agree with Stubble when it comes to suspensions and stuff, then yeah, I agree. Maybe that's an internal thing, but once they're fired, it's no longer internal. And people should know why they're fired and that we don't support their actions. So, anyway, sorry for dumping all that, but you should know.
No, you're fine.
Are you going to be around in like 10 hours? You think?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm back to second job, so
I see.
it'll be if I can wake myself up early enough.
I mean, yeah, don't force yourself. I just think that we should have a high command, conversation sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I tried to sort one and then I went daft. To be honest, I was coming in with the hopes that maybe Axel just saw where I was coming from immediately and would suspend Brian himself without me having to like rally
Good
the
job.
troops, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah. And then I had a conversation with Tessa and she's like, she saw the evidence that like she knew it was worth it. And then I felt really weird after that, and so I was like, okay. And I just